Recently, I've had a few opportunities to train with the Army, in specific our local National Guard. So let's talk about that. One of the really cool things about running a dojo is getting a chance to meet so many people, different backgrounds, different walks of life, experiences, different skill sets, all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that comes up the most is the military. Either people who are looking to get involved in the military, people who are actively involved in the military, or people who are post-military. Either way, a lot of them find their way onto the mat. We have had the opportunity to start to share our training with our local National Guard. One of the guys on the mat, he has helped get us in there and said, man, it'd be really great if we could do some of this. Would you be interested in running some of our drill and being able to provide some extra training for us? And I was really excited to do that. We've done it a few times now. It has been an absolute blast. It's such a fun thing to be able to share the things that I love with new people, and in fact, so many people, because those groups are typically much larger, 40, 50, 60 people, compared to the 5, 10, 15 that we typically have on the mat on any given class. The truth is, a lot of times in our military and law enforcement, the amount of training that they get, the amount of time allocated to training, is not nearly as much as it takes to be proficient. It's just enough to know, can you check the boxes, can you do that? Unless you end up in certain branches or special forces, different kind of things where that stuff becomes more urgent, more necessary, then it's kind of a baseline minimum. What do we need to give you to be functional? And I get it. There's a limited amount of time to provide that training. There's a lot of other training that needs to be given, and you're typically not going to be alone. So it's how do you work together as a team to overcome challenges, not how do you as an individual be able to overcome these challenges. Even still, I think it's really great when I see opportunities to work with people who want to be able to take that further, that amount of training that they get allocated, and take that further. In this case, the regular drill sessions, we're being able to have more and more frequent sessions of teaching jiu-jitsu to the National Guard, working with this group, and it's been an absolute blast. If you are in a situation where you have martial arts experience to share and you have local branches of your National Guard or different things that might need outside training or additional things that they can supplement with what they already do, I highly recommend you get involved. What a cool thing to be able to do. If you are not in the military yourself, what a cool way to be able to give back to something like that for the people who are helping keep our country going, keep it safe, do the things that need to be done. The martial arts that are specific to the military, for the most part, it's really boiled into jiu-jitsu specifically. I've been looking at Army combatives, but I've seen that the same thing with Marines and other branches. Jiu-jitsu is very, very common. That's kind of the core these days. So if you have jiu-jitsu skills, that is something that can really help because it's baseline fundamental jiu-jitsu, and that's what they need. One of the things that we're looking at is how do we take exactly that, the fundamental stuff from the Army combatives, from jiu-jitsu, getting it not from somebody who's gone through the base level courses within the military, but people who do jiu-jitsu more regularly, and be able to really flesh out the nuances of becoming good at this stuff, and then match it with the circumstances that are there. What kind of things are you going to wear? What kind of handles are you going to have? What kind of kit are you going to have on? What is it like to move around in that? Do you have tools that you might need to protect or gain access to or retain? What do these things look like? And so we're building programs that can scale these fundamental skills into these different circumstances. And I think it's going to be an absolutely great time. And what an excellent way for me to get a chance to look at my martial arts through a different lens, through a different perspective, and get the ability to see this other context and how it applies and be able to relay the things that are important and filter things in and out. It really helps me dial in my knowledge of what applies where. The whole martial map kind of idea, this idea that some things are sportive, some things are defensive, some things need to be more military-based in this case. As this has grown, we've been building slowly a team of my guys that are coming out and helping with this, and that's been awesome. Their ability to jump on the mat and help and really encourage the growth of this group of military individuals, their ability to become better at their combatives and be able to become better themselves, keep themselves safe, and understand this stuff a little bit more, and maybe even find a passion for it. This has been awesome. I've really, really enjoyed it. I hope if you have the opportunity to look into this yourself, to share what you have with other people, especially outside of just your dojo, what other things can you do to share what you have? I encourage it. I think it's worthwhile. It's worth doing. Coming up soon, I just found out I've also been greenlit to teach a self-defense course with our local college. That's something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and I'm really excited to put that together and start sharing some things, because I think that we have gone too long training only physical self-defense skills, and we need self-defense programs that incorporate the things that happen before things get all the way to the physical. This is critical in my mind. So that's two things that are going on in my life that I'm really excited about: training with the National Guard and training, working on a self-defense program for the college. These are the great ways for me to expand what I know and what I do and give back in a big way. I encourage you to look at the things that you have available to you to share your arts and your knowledge and your experience with more people outside of your normal demographic. I have found it to be so incredibly, incredibly fulfilling.